Oh, hello, little wizard. It's time to meet the wizards at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Hogwarts University. Now, all you gotta do is use your wand. How you want to use your wand is I'll teach you your very first spell, Lumos. And that's how you do it. Come back next week for your next wizard update. Goodbye. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Just Jake Reviews, where I review albums, movies, and sports games. And today we're in kind of a weird setup. I'm in a cubby, just like Harry Potter is. And yeah, I thought that'd be a pretty cool theme. Just kidding. This is a really weird, awkward angle in my basement. So if you hear stuff above me, remember, I'm in my basement. Slytherin. I am Slytherin. We'll get into that. But judging by the shirt and the awful intro, I apologize for that skit. It was just funny, not meant to be serious, but hope y'all enjoy it. We are here reviewing and ranking every Harry Potter movie. So I recently just watched all 8 Harry Potter movies for the first time. Well, I've seen the first 2 like twice before, but 3 through 8 was a total surprise to me. And yeah, I figured we'd do it just like we did for Star Wars. I did a video a few months back of me ranking and reviewing every Star Wars movie from 9 to 1. Today we got all 8 Harry Potter movies, 1 to 8, or 8 to 1. And yeah, just going to go over and talk to them. I have them written down on this piece of paper. And just, yeah, basically like the Star Wars movie. Put a lot of pictures up there, a few scenes, and yeah, just have fun with this for my non-sports video of the week. I'm really liking this shirt. I just got this shirt yesterday in the mail, so it's cool. But yeah, little warning. These rankings are going to piss you off. My ranking in order of every Harry Potter movie is so different. I've only seen like one other person agree with me on what's the worst and what's the best. So, I'm a little worried about this opinion because the Star Wars movies, for the most part, were somewhat normal opinions. These are nowhere near normal opinions at all for Harry Potter movies. Yeah, but hey, it's just my opinion. By the way, I have not read any of the books, and I'm not going to, so I'm not going to bring up any book talk. Maybe once, but for the most part, no book talk. Just going to go over the movies and go from there. So yeah, let's start off. Let's just hop right into it because it's going to be a lot of talk in this video. So, number 8, the worst Harry Potter movie in my opinion, and it's kind of not even close. I am so sorry. I'm going to get people saying, oh, but this is one of the best books. It's like, once again, not focusing on the books. Number 8, I apologize. Half-Blood Prince. Yep. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, episode 6, my bad. Yeah, this is the worst one. I have a rating for everyone, but we'll get into that. Yeah, Half-Blood Prince, this is actually a fan favorite for people. People really enjoy this one. So I'm just going to go over my notes on what they are. So, the beginning of the movie for Half-Blood Prince, by the way, massive spoilers in this video. If you have not watched the movies, watch them and then come back to here. We still got some Death Eaters talks. Death Eaters play a really big role in this whole series for Harry Potter, and they only bring them up about like 5 minutes into the movie, but then after that they're done. Just after watching all the movies in order, I was like, wow, Death Eaters, they really carry on that name throughout the entirety of the movie, and I'm like, when are they gonna stop talking about them? They do this movie. So, I would say one of the only big new characters in this movie is Horace Slughorn, who comes back to Hogwarts. He wasn't there before, now he's back in Hogwarts. And if I remember correctly, he's okay. I don't got any big issue with him, or, you know, nothing really crazy with him. He's just an instructor who comes back to Hogwarts. Another movie in the franchise that proves that the Weasley family are goats. You're gonna see me say that a lot this video. I love the Weasley family. I love how they cared for Ron, unlike his own family. Bill Weasley, you know, Fred and George, which we'll get into. Yeah, a lot of Weasley family that are fantastic, and I'm glad that there's one supportive family in the whole franchise. In this movie, they show you the potions class, which is sick. I wanted to see more of the potions class. The potions class was really cool. A little edge on Harry for really proving Hermione wrong for beating her at the potions class. That was pretty cool. I think this is Ron's funniest movie. Ron is hilarious this movie. Now, this is not the funniest movie. I think this is Ron's funniest movie because I have very mixed emotions when it comes to Ron in this movie or in these movies. But I will say in this movie, he's very funny. You also get to see Ron play Quidditch for the first time as he is, apparently he's a Quidditch goat. So we'll get into that. In this movie, you also got a small little Harry and Hermione moment. Hermione, a jealousy moment, which you don't really see throughout the entire franchise. But in this movie, you see her have a small little jealous moment. Why is Lavender a character? Lavender is a character in this movie only. The entire point of her plot is she loves Ron. She is obsessed with Ron Weasley. And that's the entirety of her plot. Like this whole movie. She's very annoying. In this movie, you feel like it sets up Draco a lot because it's a very big Draco movie. They're like, okay, are we going to give a character arc to Draco? You can find out in part 1 and part 2, which we'll get into that. But yeah, they really focus on Draco a lot, and I want to say this is probably Draco's best movie. But it's like, this is not a Harry Potter movie. This is a rom-com. There's so many relationships in this movie that I feel like it's kind of boring. And yeah, Half-Blood Prince, I'm giving a 7.3 out of 10, which is very low for Harry Potter. But in terms of like a movie, it wasn't awful. Yeah, 7.3. But Half-Blood Prince is the lowest for me. Number 7. Oh my god. This is everyone's favorite movie, and it's my second to worst. Once again, I have heard multiple things about this being the best book, but once again, don't care about that. Number 7, it's Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm sorry, movie number 3, Prisoner of Azkaban. Yep, second worst movie, I know. The beginning of this movie is wild. The beginning of this movie, where Vernon Dursley turns into a huge balloon, the girl turns into a huge balloon, where Harry's at home and she just floats away, which I was like, wow, that's the intro of the movie? Okay. This is the first movie where they introduce Sirius Black. He's not in the movie, but you do get to see what he looks like. You do get to see that Gary Oldman plays him. So yeah, this is the first introduction to Sirius Black, sort of. They mentioned one thing about Hagrid being a teacher. I'm not sure how well they stick on that, but apparently Hagrid's a teacher. You get to see Dementors, which as an Office fan, that's a very big, funny joke with Prison Mike. But Dementors, they're pretty cool. I love how well they use the invisibility cloak in this movie. The invisibility cloak is fantastic, and I love it. I think it's one of the best props in Harry Potter. Just the fact that like you put the cloak over and no one can see you. It's amazing. You also find out in this movie that Sirius Black is Harry's godfather. One of the positive things I said about Half-Blood Prince is Ron is funny. In Prisoner of Azkaban, Ron is kind of a douche. He's not the best character in this movie. He really isn't. There's time travel in this movie. The Harry scene where she time travels with Harry, I was like, okay, I'm a little confused about that because like, why are you guys doing it? But I guess it makes sense. And I feel like in this movie, they were just experimenting a little bit. They were, you know, like, once again, this is the first movie with a new director. I think Chris Columbus directed the first two. This is the first movie with a new director. I forget his name, so maybe they're experimenting a little bit. Yeah, this movie is the pinnacle definition of I understand it, but I also don't, if that makes sense. Prisoner of Azkaban gets a 7.7 out of 10. Once again, these opinions are not going to be great. Number 6, give me Goblet of Fire, the 4th movie. First of all, I just want to say one thing with this movie. This movie is hilarious. This is the funniest Harry Potter movie out of all 8 of them. I mean, this scene right here is the funniest scene in all 8 movies. You get more jealous Ron. Ron gets jealous in this movie. Really big chemistry between, you know, Cho Chang and Harry. Cho Chang and Robert Pattinson's in this movie. That's right, Cedric. Cedric, played by Robert Pattinson himself, the guy from Twilight, and also who plays the Batman. I was not expecting that at all. I was actually shocked when I saw him in this movie. Very good character, Hufflepuff boy. Battles with Harry first, and then eventually they have respect for each other during the Triwizard stuff. And they just make this movie, Harry and Ron, they fight. they argue a lot in this movie, which they make that really clear in the movie. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but then again, I do like how, you know, friends turning on each other for a little bit and then coming back together towards the end. It's really nice. Draco Malfoy gets worse every film he's in. Every single film he's in. Once again, just like they said, Half-Blood Prince, they tried making his character develop, but then they ruin it in the last 2 movies. Sirius Black's the GOAT. That's the first GOAT counter of the whole movie. Sirius Black is the GOAT. Love him. The water scene for the Triwizard Olympics. The water scene got me tense. Not gonna lie, where Harry had to save, I think it was Flora's sister, Ron, and I think Cho Chang. That was tense. And the ending where you get to see Voldemort is crazy. This is the craziest ending in all 8 movies. It's not the best ending, it's the craziest movie. Goblet of Fire, there's some good stuff, but it's kind of in the middle. This movie gets an 8 flat, 8.0 out of 10. Number 5, give me Chamber of Secrets, the second movie. A lot of people actually hate on the first 2 just because they're young. I get that, but they look older. They look like they got way older in this movie compared to the first one. So they definitely aged a little bit. Ron, once again, the Weasleys, GOAT family. You love them. This is the first time you see him in this movie. Fantastic. Once again, great family. Hagrid's the GOAT. Not the first one to say that. Hagrid's one of the best characters in the whole franchise. You love Hagrid. You always will to the very end. Hermione's the GOAT. She is probably the best character in all of Harry Potter. Without Hermione, Harry and Ron are dead. Period. You get to see Lockhart, the new professor in this movie. He is very annoying. You're not supposed to like him. He's very, don't hate him, don't like him at all, very annoying. So we'll get to Dobby more often as we get to Deathly Hallows, but Dobby introduces himself in this movie. I think he's very annoying. I think Dobby in Harry Potter is the equivalent to Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars, although I kind of like Jar Jar Binks. Like I said, in the Star Wars movies, he is kind of funny. But yeah, I just find Dobby so annoying in this movie. And future movies until Deathly Hallows Part 1. You get to see Moaning Myrtle for the first time in this movie, who's just a ghost girl who haunts the bathroom and moans, makes the noises. She's a Ravenclaw. I was shocked when I found that out. She's a Ravenclaw. I was like, oh, cool. The big spiders in this movie, and the small little spiders. I enjoy them. I think it's a good little twist to the movie. I think it's a very cool detail as well, all the spiders. And you get to see the sword in this movie, which I was shocked. I was like, he's using a sword to kill this dragon thing. But Chamber of Secrets, I really enjoy the first 2 movies. I think when people say they give you like a love, like hug feeling, I do think that. They're very nice movies. Chamber of Secrets, 8.5. Speaking of the first 2 movies, number 4, give me The Sorcerer's Stone, which started it all. Yeah, this is top 4 for me. I love this movie. Amazing intro. It's simple. Dudley, Harry's stepbrother, is an absolute dick. No one should like him. He's a fat ass who should die. He lives under the goddamn stairs in a closet, like where I am right now. He lives under the stairs, which is messed up. Another Hagrid goat talk. Hagrid is a goat in this movie. You also find out earlier in this first movie, Voldemort killed Harry's parents, which becomes more of a very pivotal plot in the later movies. They're so young. Like, all 3 of them, like Harry, Ron, and Hermione are so young in this movie. Once again, like I said, I am Slytherin. I took it on HarryPotter.com, so you know it's legit. Yeah, didn't expect that at all. I thought it was Ravenclaw. No, I'm Slytherin, though. Okay. Quidditch. The concept of Quidditch is so fire. Like, I love it. It's so sick. Quidditch is amazing in this. Harry destroyed the stone. When he fought that, apparently it was Voldemort. The weird, ugly face Voldemort thing. I think Dumbledore destroyed the stone at the end. So, that's how the movie ends. And in this movie, you of course get introduced to Snape and McGonagall, who are 2 very important characters in the whole story. But Sorcerer's Stone, you get a lovey-dovey feeling for this movie. This movie gets an 8.6 out of 10. Love this movie. All right, top 3. This is where it gets important. Top 3. Number 3, Deathly Hallows Part 1, movie 7. Once again, really solid movie. You get to see Hermione's family for like 5 seconds, and then you're like, oh, that's all? I want to see more. No, just 5 seconds. The Polyjuice Potion plays a huge role in this movie. That is, of course, the potion you take when you want to turn into someone, which is crazy. There are 7 Horcruxes they have to destroy, which they do in the concept of 2 movies. Frick ton of deaths, especially in Part 2 and Part 1. A lot of deaths, so many deaths. I mean, crazy amount of deaths. You want to talk about a true GOAT that has probably the best character development of all time? Neville Longbottom has the best character development of any character in the entire franchise. He starts off in the movies really annoying, kind of a dick, just very annoying, but then he becomes such an important role, and you end up liking him, so that's awesome. This is the first movie where there's no Hogwarts involved. That's right, they're on the run. All three of them were like, we're done with Hogwarts, but they come back in part 2 a little bit. Ron's jealous again. God damn it. This is probably Ron. People don't really like the fight scene between Ron and Harry. I'm like, okay, cool, but Ron just leaves halfway through the movie, and this movie is pretty much a Harry and Hermione movie. R.I.P. Dobby. Holy frick, Dobby's death is so sad. You don't get to realize, like, once again, I found him so annoying in the early movies, but then once you get to know that he just wanted a friend, like, bro just wanted a friend. So sad. So sad. Almost so sad. Shed a tear. 8.6 out of 10. Very good movie. Number 2, The Order of the Phoenix, Episode 5. No one talks about this one at all, which is interesting. So much happens in this movie. First of all, Harry's parents. Fuck them. Don't like them. They're annoying. We gotta kill Vernon Dursley. We gotta kill Petunia. We gotta kill Dudley. Screw all of them. Vernon Dursley could be tied for the worst character in the entire franchise. Up there with Umbridge. This is the movie where you get to realize, hey, Neville Longbottom might be growing on me. He's not the worst character in the movie. So, once again, shout out Neville. Rita Skeeter, the publisher for the Daily Prophet. What a bitch. All she does is lie. She's a lying asshole who writes lies about everyone. And yeah, she's only in this movie, thank God. Fred and George Weasley are the GOATs. They are the comedy of the entire franchise. They are so freaking funny. And I love how they play a role in every single movie. Fred and George, love them. Like I said, Umbridge, probably the worst character in the entire franchise. Umbridge and Vernon Dursley. Kill them both right now. I love Luna Lovegood. I do. Luna Lovegood, very nice character. Ravenclaw, very nice girl. She likes Ron. She likes Harry, and she's a very important character. People do say that, like, she gives them the icks because she's all, like, awkward. I get that, but not for me. I am chipping Harry and Cho Chang. Not Cedric. Harry and Cho Chang. They need to be together. I know him and Jenny end up, which Jenny's a very important character, but Harry and Cho, please. This movie, I feel like I feel like Ron and Hermione, aka Rupert Grint and Emma Watson, are just being themselves. Like, they're not Hermione and Ron. They're Rupert Grint and Emma Watson. Like, they're just playing themselves in this movie. This movie has the greatest ending. This ending is fantastic. We'll get to that number 1. But number 2 has a fantastic ending. Order of the Phoenix, 8.8 out of 10. Which leads to my number 1. Number 1 favorite Harry Potter movie of all time is Deathly Hallows Part 2. Yep, the last one. So this movie starts up with Griphook, who's played by Warwick Davis, one of the best little people actors of all time. Griphook, he just dies though. He just dies. He's there, but he just dies. Voldemort is living in Harry's head rent-free, as he should, but I don't point that out. It's literally rent-free up there in all of Voldemort. Once again, like I said 2 movies ago, they are back in Hogwarts after leaving. They're back in Hogwarts. The bridge scene's epic. Love the bridge scene. Fantastic. Epic. So Harry's mom and Lily Potter and Snape used to date. Snape was in love with her, which you find out very important. My favorite scene in the entire franchise, all 8 movies, is the scene where that water, I forget what it's called, the Pensieve, something like that. The water that you dip your head in, and it's like flashbacks and memories. There's an entire 10-minute sequence of this movie where it's just a flashback of you find out about Harry's parents, what Lily and James Potter did to Snape, how Snape and Dumbledore got Harry. It's the best scene in the whole franchise. This is Ron's best film. Ron is a GOAT in this movie, finally. I'm waiting for him to be a GOAT in a movie. He's the most helpful and best leader in this movie. And, of course, this is the best ending of all time. Hands down, no debate. Deathly Hallows Part 2 gets a 9.3 out of 10. Anyways, thank you all for my short little sequences of all the Harry Potter movies. Sorry if I didn't go over all the movies. I just want to talk about everything I want to talk about. And, yeah, so got some Harry Potter content, got some Star Wars content. I'll put in the end card my Star Wars ranking of all 9 movies. But yeah, that's going to be all for today's video. And if you like the video, make sure to hit the like video and make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're getting close to 100 subs. I think we're at 86 right now, which is really cool. And yeah, that'll be all for today's video, and I will see you next time. Peace. Expelliarmus.